われたので、よし。
ハロー。今から、あと1時間45分くらいあるんですけど、コスチュームを超早く作るワークショップです。
So we have about an hour and 45 minutes, and super fast, we're going to make a costume.
はい、私は結構作るの好きなので、結構作るのが早いんですね。それで今回、ぜひ早く衣装を作るワークショップをやってくださいということで、ここに来ました。
She really, really, really likes making these things, and she's super fast, so she would like to show with you guys how fast she can make these things.
であまりゆっくり説明をしていると間に合わなくなってしまうので、ほとんど見てもらう感じ。
We don't really have
Yes.
too much time to like talk and explain everything, so just be watching for the most part.
はい。で、もし時々、今何やってるのか聞きたいっていう時は、その時は声をかけてください。ちょっと動きながらですけど、答えれたら答えます。
If anyone has any questions along the way, even though I might not be able to stop what I'm doing, I'll still answer your questions. So shout them out if you have any questions.
はい。完全に私の自分独特のやり方でやりますから、本当に今この人今何やってるのって思ったら聞いてください。
So this is her particular method of doing things. So if anyone gets lost or confused, just ask questions. It's fine.
はい。で、一番ベーシックな学生服のようなスタイルを今回作ります。
So we're going to make the basic high school uniform
はい。
for men.
材料、布、
So what do we need? We
そし
need
てフ
cloth
ロントファスナーですね。
a fastener, a zipper from the
そ
front.
してバインダー。
There's 2 binders here.
はい。これは全部アメリカで用意しました。
And we got all of these in America here.
はい。で、布はこれウール 100% です。
This is 100% wool material that we're going to use here.
はい。で、ウールという布は実に服を作るのに、私はとても簡単なファブリックだと思っています。
So she thinks that wool is probably a very, very easy fabric to work with.
実はポリエステル 100% の布が私は一番難しいと思っているんですね。
She thinks that polyester is actually the hardest one to work with.
はい。ウールはアイロンで結構服をきれいに見せることができるので、私はよく使っています。
By using an iron, you can make wool look very, very nice. So she often uses wool in a lot of her clothing.
はい。ということでじゃあ始めてみます。もう作業始まるとあんまりマイク持てないので見ててください。
So we're going to start. Can't hold the mic when she's working, so let's go right into it. Just make sure when you check to make sure that you have the front and the back of every kind of fabric. So double check to make sure you're using the right side. If you don't really know what to do, if you look really, really closely along the edges, there's little tiny holes along the sides of wool. So when they poke holes through these, they go from one side into so the side that is inverted inside is probably the front side, like when you push. But this is kind of difficult to figure out. So she's just gonna go with the flow. Maybe it's like this. So first, we're gonna use the pattern. Just gonna put it right on that wool directly. So this is a pattern that fits herself. So she's already measured out. She's just tracing that pattern along on the wool directly. Is there a ruler somewhere? Does anyone have a ruler? Do you have a ruler? Well, while we're waiting for the ruler, she's going to trace the other side as well. So first, you trace what you have the pattern for yourself onto the fabric itself. The most important thing is to keep a clean workspace. I don't know how she's doing this. It's like Does anyone here make their own cosplays? Oh, みんな作ってる自分で。Just waiting on that ruler. Can you guys see what she's doing here? She can? Okay. It's like maybe it was faster if I ran myself. Yeah. Karaoke, anyone? Let's sing. Oh! なんか持ってきてくれるみたいです。If it's only if it's in centimeters. Ah, we need that centimeter ruler. Yay! No? So is there centimeters on that? Do you have like the flat one? あ、今使ってるみたいです。でも Can you grab just one of them? これ違います。I need a metric. No inches. いや、これ違います。これ違います。見たことない。Or we can like Google all the measurements right now. Divide everything by 2.54. Mm. 大丈夫です。Yay! Thank you. こんなハプニング。もしもし。もしもし。All right, so basically she's making all of the lines that she's already traced out onto this, right onto that. It's basically a continuation of if you came to the workshop earlier, so she's gonna take this pattern here and elongate it so that we can make a longer jacket, so that the jacket's not gonna be super short, it'll be longer. And then if you were at the workshop earlier, she explained to like between these two, when you connect them together, to leave enough room for the buttons. So she's gonna have like a 1 centimeter on each side addition to your pattern that you made for yourself, if you remember. That's what she's doing now. So at this point, we have the pattern for the body. Now we're gonna cut it. It's very difficult to cut. Maybe you need very sharp scissors. It's very bright on stage. It's like very it hurts. just keep going. She's like, yes. All right. So we've done the basic cutout. So you should have these two sides here. And then next we're going to make the sleeves. It's very heavy. ここも重そうです。So again, at the workshop we did earlier, she showed you how to figure out the measurements of all of the sleeve points. So she's going to roughly draw that really fast. Okay, so we're done with the sleeves. Now we're just going to cut it out. It's very bright. I'm going to switch scissors She's gonna use her personal ones. The hardest part for her is wearing this and doing it at the same time. So this is the sleeve. Now we're gonna make the collar. So we're done with the color, the printing of it. The same thing, we're gonna cut it out. All right, so we finished cutting out all the parts. Next, we're gonna apply this to the important little parts. You're gonna apply this to the areas that you wanna make a little bit firmer. Ah. So for example, the back of the clothes, that area, if you wanted to make it firmer, It's not quite hot enough yet, but we're gonna try. Mm, mm, mm. And she's like, yes, 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 yes. So. Ta-da! In the front, you can put it on the entire front side. But since the fabric is already pretty stiff as it is, it's too costly to do the whole thing, so we're not going to do the whole thing. Because it's not really cheap. She has a secret item that she uses. It's like glue that even children can use. So if you put a little bit on, when you actually put them together, it doesn't move around. So first with the iron, we're gonna fold a crease. This is glue that comes off if you just wash it. So just to hold the place, we're just gonna put a little bit on. And then if you iron over it, but if you wash it, it'll come off. It just makes it faster to stick together. It's kind of like Elmer's glue. It's like in Japan, we call glue bondo, like bond. Then also the same on the other side. Alrighty, so we finished that part. Then we're going to also do the color. And then on the color, we can also use a little bit of that glue. Temporary hold. And we have all the parts ready. Now all we have to do is sew them. So this is the back side that she has right now. So we're going to first attach the front, one part of front to the back. So now she's attaching the second part of the front to the back. All right, so this is the body part. The most important part is to always iron. Strongly encourage everyone to always iron their outfits because it doesn't look very nice if you don't iron. Nice and crisp. So it's gonna look like this. Next, we're just gonna do the collar, attaching the collar to the body. It came undone. It's actually not her machine. They're kind of different, the Japanese sewing machines and the American sewing machines. She usually uses one that's a lot cheaper than this one, so she's not used to using such a good sewing machine. Oh, in Japanese sewing machines don't have the pedal for the foot pedal. There's like a little switch connected straight onto the body. New experiences. She just got so used to it. I guess now this is more foreign. It's true. If you see from this side, every 2 seconds she like looks up there and there's nothing there. She's like, oh. So in Japan, usually when you do on the ground, like on top of tatami, there's nowhere to put your foot because we fold our legs in. So there's no foot pedal usually. It's like a lower surface. There's no space. So now we've attached the collar. And we're going to cut a little bit in the inside. It's a lot of times because then your neck is curved. So if we just sewed it the way it is right now, there's no space for the fabric to bend. Next, we're going to complete the neck. So you can use a sewing machine for this part, but actually the outcome is a lot nicer if you just do it by hand. Because this part you're not going to see, it's not going to be in the front. But whichever your personal preference is. If you have the time, then she recommends doing it by hand. She said it's annoying, so she's going to use the machine. But if you use a machine, it's not as nice, like the outcome. So when she makes it at home, she uses her hand and goes through each one. So if you use a machine, at the very end there, the thread is showing. You can see it because she used white right now. She says she doesn't like that at all, so usually that's why she does everything by hand there, because the thread pokes out. Now we're gonna iron. because she used white thread, you can see it a lot more than normal. すいません. I'm gonna become her model for a second. But it's like this here.
今これくらい。
You see? 止まらない. I'm too fat to wear this.
Wow. Okay.
うん.
こんな感じ。はい。次は、袖をつけましょう。
So next we're gonna do the sleeves. So the sleeves are really easy. We're just going to fold it in half and sew them all together. So this is done. Those are the sleeves. I'm gonna flip it inside out. And we're gonna iron starting from the back, the inside, not the back. Mm-hmm.
Are the irons the same kind of thing in Japan? Or
That's the same. アイロンは同じですかって聞かれた。アイロンは同じですかって聞かれた。日本とアイロンは同じですかって聞かれた。Well, hers is cordless. A fancy iron, not so fancy sewing machine. Priorities.
よくね、日本の人はなんであんな低いテーブルでミシンできるんだって聞かれるんですけど、それはペダルがないからですね。
A lot of people ask why you can use a sewing machine without, like on such a low table. And it's because there's no pedal, so you can sit down there.
袖には右と左がありますから、
So sleeves, there's a left and a right.
間違いないです。
So please don't mess that up.
最初にパターンを引いて、このラインの入ってる方が右じゃないや、こっち。
パターンが入ってる方が左。
ラインの残っている。
So when you first drew directly onto the wool, the ones with the writing on it, the markings that you did, is usually going to be your left. If you mess this up, then your movements will be a little bit restricted.
ちなみに私はこのピンを使わないんです。
And when she sews, she doesn't actually use any of these bobby or these little pins, sewing pins.
使う方が私は失敗しちゃう。
She tends to mess up a lot more if she uses these pins, so she doesn't use pins.
でも慣れてないなら使った方が綺麗だと思います。
But if you're not used to sewing, she highly recommends using them because they'll appear nicer. Like it'll be easier.
袖を縫うときにボディの方、袖じゃないボディの方をちょっと強く引っ張るんですね。そして、
So when you sew the sleeve onto the body, it's important to pull the body part, not the sleeve, but to pull on the body as you're sewing.
これは袖ってボディより少し大きいんです。
It's because the sleeve is usually a little bit bigger or longer than the body part. What technical difficulties? But it's easy to fix. So that's the sleeve. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm like bunching everywhere, but it's usually not this scruffy. But yeah, and look here. So for a boy, this part is going to be a little bit more open because I'm a girl. But for boys, it's a little bit higher here. So usually you put like a little shoulder pad right here. And you'll notice that this part, the body from the shoulder, is a little bit rounded when they attach. So you can achieve this because you're pulling, when you're sewing the two parts together, you would hold the body part and you would pull it, and you just kind of lightly tap on the sleeve part, and you can achieve this rounded part of the shoulder. If you're gonna make a t-shirt, the shirt underneath, you want it to be flatter. Of course, you don't want it to have this. So if you look really closely at men's jackets, like that one, a lot of times you'll see that they're rounded on the shoulders here. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the other sleeve.ずっと引っ張ってるんですか、そのボディの部分は、全体縫ってるときに。Just especially like round here. So the sleeves are always a little bit bigger in general when you start out with the patterns. So if you don't pull on it, you're going to come up with like a really big sleeve. He's like, this side came out better. So she's finished putting the sleeves on there. So we're at this stage right now. So in order to, this time to make it, I'll speed up the process a little bit, we're gonna bind it together. Do you know what these are called? Vice tape? Binder. And of course, at the very end, if the bottom section is not very nice, we're just gonna cut it and line it up. Binder. Binder. Bondo. So by using this, it's gonna kind of like a costume. This is the first time using this in the American version of it too.
If she got used to the sewing machine, you think she'd approve of it?
もしアメリカ製のこのミシンになれたら普段から使うようになりますか？好きになりますか？ She said if it's cheap. If they're inexpensive. He says that when you're using the binding tape, the hardest part is the curve, like the corner. That's better. So it's starting to look a little bit more like a costume, right?メイカさんはこの端っこの部分の何ですかデザインがあるのがあれなんですか？それは全部手でやってるんですか？すでについてるものを使ってるんですか？このボーダーのところにたまに何ですかねデザインがついてるのがあるじゃないですか。この一色とかじゃなくてここら辺に花とかがついてるのははい。So she says she uses the pre-made ones, the ones that are already on there. 自分で実 際やったことはあるんとかですか？はい、つけることは布に一から。She says if she wants to make something with it though, she'll make it by hand. But usually a lot of times they're already attached to it, so she just has to use that. She says if a character that she likes is wearing it, then she has to make it though. Like something that she really wants to do. And she can't find it anywhere else. But it seems like a lot of work. Embroidery? もし手で作るんでしたらどれぐらい時間かかるんですか？ I guess it depends on like what kind of design, what kind of embroidery. Like 平均とかありますか？平均時間。She says there's no such thing as an average in cosplay. So there's like no, she can't even like guesstimate. She'd have to like see it and then. But she said she can never spend more than 1 week on one outfit, one cosplay. She gets bored. She said she'd rather just stay up all night for 2 days and make it. 今つけてる衣装どれぐらい時間かかったんですか？はい。This is actually the second version of this one, this particular cosplay she has. So the blue kimono part? About 1 day? One night? What? その一晩はどれぐらいの時間だったんですか？Like 6 hours? But this is her second one. Did she make her own? 自分でカツラとかを作るんですか？ She says she buys it and then she fixes it. This particular wig she has on has been sold as that character wig. She said it's like the wig shop for this one is really close to her house, so she can just take her bike and bike over. このコンベンションが2日間ずっとやったらこれ作れるじゃないですか。2日間ずっとやったらここ作れるじゃないですか。If this convention were 2 days longer, she could just make it. We can all just watch. World's first, right? So she really enjoys making the same cosplay twice. Because she wants to make it better. Like all the mistakes that she made when she did it the first time, she would like a second try to just make it better. She throws it away. She just takes the little prints from the first one and she puts that on the second one. 売らないんですか？ No. 全部で衣装どれぐらい持っているんですか？何着持ってるんですか？ So at the one she has a lot, like the most is about 100 at one time. But if she doesn't have room in her house, she just throws it away. And I was like, no. What? She's like, no, throw it away, throw it away. Japanese houses are very small. eBay. Net auction. About 10 years ago, she did sell her. But she received a lot of like criticism sometimes from like the outfits that people bought. They were like, this is wrong or this is not right. She's like, but you can tell from the picture. It's not there. So she doesn't like dealing with that kind of thing. So she doesn't think that her outfits are completely perfect, you know, like exactly. If you want one that's cheaper, you should just buy it from China. Very この今作ってるジャケットをどうするんですか? She's gonna throw it away. She's like, I'm like hurrying to make this. It's not very pretty. いくらで売りますか? She's like, I don't want to sell it. She says, and usually like she likes to make cosplays or outfits based on a character because this is not specifically a character; it's more generic. Everything's not in it. Like her, it's kind of like this when you finish with the border there. We're gonna do the same thing around the wrist. I know how you feel though.
When she makes a cosplay, does she follow the picture exactly, or does she take her own artistic?
We talked about this. コスプレを作るときは結構そのオリジナルを意識して完璧に作ろうとしてますか？それかもちょっとレイカさん風に変えてますか？ She says as long as she's having fun, she doesn't care. So she really enjoys all the characters that she cosplays. She loves those characters and she loves making cosplays. So it's somewhere in the middle if she can like find a nice balance. What? 一番今レイカさんが作った中のコスプレで一番好きなのは何ですか？来た、一番好きなこと。So not her favorite character, but her favorite cosplay, like her favorite costume. そうです。衣装で。はい。ちょっと。She says she hasn't been 100% happy with any of her cosplay. 今現在作ってるコスプレとかはありますか？ So she doesn't actually have one that she's working on right now because she makes, when she has an inspiration, when she's like, I want to cosplay that person, she just makes it the next day. So like she doesn't have any like, she doesn't have any that she's like, oh, in the future, one day I'm going to cosplay that one. She just makes it right away. Like you see, 2 hours. Yeah, Victor. One day. Victor. So the Victor that's from is from Yuri on Ice, and she saw episode 2, and she's like, I love Victor. Then she made it. 一番難しかったコスプレはありますか？手こずったやつ。There's an anime called Tiger and Bunny. あれ You all know. Do you know? The armor suit from Origami Cyclone? She made that. She said it was very, very difficult. 初めてアーマーを作ったところですか？それ初めてこのコスプレを作った。That was the first time she ever made a full armored cosplay? それは1週間以上かかったんですか？ It took 2 weeks. So she said she had the most difficulty on asking the mask, and so it took a lot of her time to remake that over and over again.
でもコンベンションで一応キャラクターのウィッグをかぶってマスクをかぶっていたら、まあ、マスク撮った時になんかマスク撮って写真撮らせてくださいってみんなに言われて、マスクが一番大変だったんですよ。
Oh no! So she's recounting. She actually went to a convention. She did the mask. She put the wig on, but all these people wanted to take a photo of her without the mask on. But she was like, "But I spent the most time on the mask." So she received a little bit of shock. 2回目作るときはどのタイミングで作るんですか？
なんか大きいコンベンションの前かな。
Like before really big conventions. When she feels embarrassed to go with the first one, she'll make a second one. Yeah. How many times have you been to which one? コミケは何回行ったんですか？参加させ。はい。About 7 times? Has anyone ever been to Komiketto? Comic market in Japan? Don't go in the summer. It's brutal. Don't do it. Yeah. It's like the largest convention in the world. Do you guys know how many people go there? Yep. About 500,000 people are there. And there's like no AC in the summer. The lines are super long, but they're super efficient, but they're long. It's not a very happy event. You might die. So at the very max in the middle of Japan, we're gonna do Celsius here, but it's about 40 degrees Celsius, which is like around 190. So like cosplay, 90 degrees. Very humid in Japan too. Very, very humid. Nihon no convention to 世界に中にあるコンベンションの大きな違いは何ですか？はい。日本では。So in Japan, for the most part, there's no such thing as a cosplay contest. That's one of the biggest differences. So like the big main stage acts are usually voice actors, producers, animators, those kind of people. So there's not a lot of times where you would stand on a stage with a bunch of cosplayers. It's more like industry. That's probably the biggest difference between Japan and the rest of the world. Yeah. 日本のイベントでは制限されてるんですか？ここでしかコスプレができないっていう。Yes, it's been factioned off. Like you can walk, but you can't take pictures. So there's also places that are specifically factioned off within the convention hall that you can change outfits, but you have to like pay for these booths. The main reason I heard you say why is because of people control. Like imagine having like 500,000 people and then everyone stopping to take photos every 3 seconds. It's like a major traffic issue. Yeah, so that's like certain areas they'll say like photo booth or like take photos with your favorite people or whatever outside or in this corner. Yeah, still outside.
時々やっぱり一番よく日本で問題になるのは外国のコスプレイヤーさんが衣装を着たまま日本のコンベンションに行ったというのは時々問題になっています。
So there's been a few times where it's actually been a problem where people outside of Japan would go and wear cosplays and go because you do have to pay for this stuff.
なので日本に来たらまあコンベンションの中で服を着替えるんだっていうことだけは結構大切なルールの一つになってますね。
So it's very, very important to change into your cosplays at the site and not to go like while you're traveling to the site itself, to the venue.
昔は多分自由にコスプレで行っていたけど、まあ街の人が何やあれちょっとやめてということで着ていくことができなくなったと聞きました。
So she heard that actually a little bit ago you were able to actually just wear a cosplay and go to the venue. However, like the mainstream people would be like, "What the heck are they doing?" And it became a little bit of an issue, so they stopped that and said you have to redress at the venue. The harness? リーガイ兵長とか進撃の巨人の時のコスプレの時にハーネス作った時はどれぐらいの時間かかったんですか？
マシン
The machine itself or the actual strap harness? 両方。
コスチュームは一晩くらいでマシンは3日くらい。
She said the actual outfit itself about 1 day, but the machine itself was about 3.
でも私夜しか作らない。昼は絶対に作らない。
それはなんでですか？
なんかテンションが上がる。
So she says she only works at night though, and she never works during the day because she's not like in the mood to make it during the day. She's not as excited.
How did she find time to do that? Doesn't she have like a job or something?
時間
I mean, not to be disrespectful. Not to be disrespectful.
Now it's like awkward. こういうコスプレ作る時間をどうやって作るんですか？普通はお昼の間に仕事とか行ってないんですか？と。
ああ、家でね、コスプレの雑誌とか、コスプレの会社、ワールドコスプレサミットとかで働いているんですね、私。
So at home she works for magazines for cosplay, like World Cosplay Summit.
で、なんかそういうことをやっているので、時間があっても、なんか昼は、なんだろう、突然電話がかかってくる、ミーティングの電話がかかってきたりするので、あんまりこう集中できない。
So she says like during the day it's a little bit difficult for her to concentrate because during the day she gets like phone calls all of a sudden or like all of a sudden like can you answer this phone call for a meeting, and then she just can't concentrate full on, so she has to reserve the time at night. So probably the answer is don't sleep, but
だから、夜の方がいいですね。
so usually night is preferable.
もう服できたんですよ。
Well, she's done.
でも、持ってってるのを忘れたんですね。肩パッド。
But she forgot to bring the shoulder pads, so she's just gonna make them right now. You know, as you do. Yep. Japan has very strict trash laws, but 捨てるときにコスプレをなんか捨てるって言ったじゃないですか。その時は寄付とか誰か受け取ってくれる人を探すのですか？それかも普通に燃えるゴミとして捨てちゃうんですか？ Yeah, just throw trash, burn. Like it's just Japan just has different rules.
大阪の人間ってケチなんですよ。
She says she's from Osaka, and Osaka we're really thrifty in general.
で、ボタンとかアクセサリーを全部外して、
So she just takes the parts, like the buttons and all the other parts of it, but she throws the rest of it away. Yeah, and in Japan, like if you are moving out of your college dorm and you can't, like you have a sofa, you can't just throw it away on the curb. You have to pay for them to come and remove it for you. Because if you leave it, they will fine you. It's very expensive, yeah. You can't throw things away just on a whim. Every single day of the week is a different thing that you can throw away. Plastics, aluminum, things that burn, things that don't burn. Very, very, very strict trash laws. But the country is super pretty. Yeah. As I can't hear you very well. Yeah. なんか一番多い時に100着ぐらいあったって言ったんですけど、今現在どれぐらい持ってるんですか About 70-ish。捨てたいものをどうやって決めるんですか捨てるものを。
もうアホほど来たからもうボロボロだっていうやつとか。
Like things that she's worn so many times that it's starting to come apart. That's a good one.
もうなんかいいフォトシュートもして大きいイベントでも来たし満足だという時。
Or if she's already done like a really good photo of it and she's done the big events with it and she's okay, she's let it go.
あとは、あんまりないけど、どうかな。あんまりないですけど、まあ、アニメがスタートした時にコスチュームを作って、アニメの最後が超気に入らない時。
So she said this doesn't actually happen very often, but let's say like the anime just started, the season started and it was awesome, but then the ending sucked. She's like, I don't agree with the ending of this story.
はいやつ出てこいみたいな。
She's like, bring out the producer.
はい、なんとなくできました。着てみますか。
Wow, shotopad.
はい。
Okay, I'm gonna try wearing this. There's like a little shoulder pad inside. If you can see here and here, she put the little tiny dummy shoulder pads inside here.
もっとちゃんとお店で売ってるものよりはもっと綺麗ですね。
So like at stores, they'll have it a little bit nicer because she just did that because she left it at home.
で、
But
なんだろう。
はい。
もっと丁寧に作るならこの中を襟の中に入れたり、もうちょっと綺麗に作ることも全然できます。
so if you wanted to make it a little bit nicer, you can always fold in the parts that are showing here. You can see the stitching. Always fold that in if you wanted.
明日絶対やりたいみたいな時は全然私このクオリティで出しても別にいいです。後で直すから。
She says like if you're like I want to wear this tomorrow, then totally go with this. You don't have to do all the work, and then later you can fix it because this is totally fine.
そうですね。で、袖
So the sleeve,
これもやっぱりちょっと長い方が私は好きなんですけど、曲げた時、まあこれ私のサイズですからちょっと大きすぎますけど、このくらいのサイズで作ると曲げた時にこんなになっちゃうので、ちょっと長く作ります。その方が腕が長く見えると私も思ってるんですね。
so she thinks that the sleeves you should make it a little bit too long, a little bit longer, as you see here, so that when you bend your elbow, it naturally comes up a little bit. So if you make it, if the sleeve was like shorter, like here, then when you bend your elbow, it'll be like here. It's too short. So make it a little bit longer.
バインダーもね、実はこっち失敗してこっち成功してます。間違えた。
So if you look really closely here, this side is nice and beautiful. She kind of messed up on this side, but like this. See?
まあ時間があったら自分では直しますけど。
So when she has time, of course she'll fix this, or burn it. I don't know.
なので、まあこれくらいのシンプルなジャケット。
But if you're making a jacket that's like this simple, this kind of design, you can make it in about an hour and a half. We did.
パンツを作ってもまあ2時間くらい。
If you like make the pants with this, the under, it's about 2 hours.
もちろんもうちょっと丁寧に作ったら3時間かけてもう少し丁寧にもう少しここは直そうって丁寧に作ってもいいとは思います。
Of course, you can be a little bit more careful and make a little bit of adjustments to make it a little nicer. Maybe 3 hours tops, but you can make it very, very quickly, as long as you measure out all the things first. Do all the measurements first. Yeah. このトリムの赤い部分はズボンにも使えない。
そうですね、使おうと思ったら全然使えると思います。
Yeah, you can use totally. どこら辺に使うんですか？ここかこの周りの部分だけとか。
まあデザインですね。
Is it like a design perspective?
うんうん。
レイカさんだったら。
そうかな。パンツには使わないかな。
She says she wouldn't use it actually.
これはバインダータイプだか
Oh,
ら、
sorry. So this is for a binding,
バインディングなの
the
で、
binding tape. So you put the fabric inside.
だからこういう
So
とこにしか使えない。
like really only around the trim. なんか足の部分に使わないんですかねって聞いて。
どうかな。そういうデザインがもしかっこいいと思って作るときにはやります。
If she thinks it's really cool, she might do it. どうぞ。ウィッグも捨てちゃうもんなんですかね。
ウィッグすげえ捨てますよ。
She's like, yes,
なんか
throw them a lot, a lot.
コスプレを初めてやったとき、だいたいメイクとかもうまくいかなくて、失敗したと思うんですね。
When she does like a cosplay that she really, really likes, sometimes like if she really messes up, like a lot on the makeup or like the wig itself,
そういうときいつもとりあえずウィッグを変えたらなとかって思っちゃうんです。
she says like the first thing that she thinks about changing, making adjustments to, is the wig. She's like, if I change the wig at least, then maybe.
そう自分が悪いんじゃない、ウィッグが悪かった。
She's like, it's not my fault, it's the wig's fault.
ショックだから、好きなキャラなのに全然ダメっていうのがショックなので、ウィッグのせいにしてますね。
So because it's too traumatic for her, she just blames the wig, and it's not her fault. It's the wig's fault.
なのですぐ買っちゃいます。
So she buys another one right away. コスプレ以外のなんか好きなことはありますか？
一人でカラオケ行くの大好き。
She loves going to karaoke by herself. カラオケ？うん。What about it? Yes, by herself.
練習するのに。
From which part? Sorry. すごいきっちりとコスプレ作られてるので、どうやってその次のコスプレを作るためのスケジュールを組み立てるんですか？
それはね、組んだことはないです。
She's never made a schedule.
今日はアニメを見て、やべえ、これ面白いと思ったら明日布を買いに行く感じ。
She said if she watches an anime and she's like, oh my god, this is amazing, tomorrow she'll buy the fabric for it. There's no schedule.
することはない。
She never makes a schedule. What? Thank you. Cosplay はよく作られてるんですけど、普通の服は作りますか？
街で着るための服。
そうです。私服みたいな。
ファッションデザインの学校の時は作ってました。
So she used to go to fashion design school, and when she was a student, she did.
お金が学生だからお金ないけど学校にかっこいい服が着たいと思って作ってたんですね。
She said she didn't have a lot of money as a student, so when she wanted to wear something super cool, she'd make it by herself.
でもオタクだからちょっとすぐコスチュームっぽくなるので、
She's like, I'm an otaku, so like whenever I make something, it kind of becomes like a costume.
ダメですね、オタクっぽい。
It just looks very otaku-ish. 世界的有名なコスプレイヤーとしての生活はどんな感じですか？
いや別に気にしたことないですね。英語読めないし。
She's like, it just never really like hit me because I can't read English anyway. It's like I don't really have
日
that.
本語しか読めないんであんまりわからない。
So I can only read in Japanese, so it doesn't really hit me very hard. Like I don't know
まあ
what
でも
it's like.
読むだけならね英語ってなんとなくわかりますけど、なんかみんなほら大文字で書いたりして全然読みづらい。
She said like if she reads, she can actually understand quite a lot, but because in our internet culture everyone puts everything all caps, she's like I can't read this. Too jumbled.
テンション上がってるっていう
そうですそうですそうです。
はいはいテンションアップ
Oh my god. Oh my god. She's like, you guys write that use caps when you're excited, right?
特にそれで変わったことって何もない。
But like
考えが変わったことは何もないと思います。
she says becoming someone who travels the world, like nothing's really changed mentally for her. She just does it 'cause she likes it.
別になんだろう、みんなが見てるから綺麗な衣装作らないととか思わないです。
So she's never really thought like, oh my god, these people are all going to be looking at my photos. I have to make this perfect.
私の好きなキャラがこんな汚い衣装なわけがないっていう気持ちで普通作るので。
So she usually makes it like this is the character that she really, really likes. She's not going to make that character look ugly. She's going to make that amazing for herself. Like, this is my character that I like.
だからそれはあんまりないかもですね。
So she hasn't really
あんまり変わってないかな。
thought about it. I guess is that the question, the answer. Like personality traits or just 好きなキャラクターはどんな感じのキャラクターが好きなんですか？
まずね、頭のいいメガネ。
Very smart glasses.
そしてマッチョでないことです。
Someone who's not very muscular, like macho,
なんか細い
very slim, like a slim like muscle, like tone, defined muscles, but not anything like the Hulk, like small.
メガネのキャラクター。
But definitely glasses. 彼女の賛成ですね。世界回ってる時、コンベンションとかいろいろ渡り歩くっていう時は、フリータイムの時は何をするのが好きですか？
寝るホテルで寝ますかね。
She likes sleeping.
ホテルで寝るか世界遺産を見に行くですね。
Or to look at like world famous sites, like historic sites.
それは大好き。
She likes doing that a lot. Or sleeping in her hotel room. Has she ever what? コスプレを買ったことはありますか？
ありますあります。
Yes.
スポーツウェアのジャージ
Like jerseys for sports?
はやっぱりここがね刺繍がいいんですよ。
Like the back design is really, really nice for sports jackets.
そうだから XL を買って、
So she buys like an extra large jacket
そして縫って直す。
and then she fixes the size.
そうするとこうマークだけね自分のものになります。
So then you can have at least the logo, the mark of like the jersey.
黒子のバスケというアニメの時作ったんですね。
So she, you know the anime Kuroko no Basketto?
でも例えば最後学校のマークをペイントするときに失敗したとか。
So she says she actually made a cosplay from that, but at the very, very end when she was trying to paint the logo of the school on, she messed up.
ちょっとこうこうなって
It just kind of like slanted a little bit.
でもうこれは買って
So it's easier if you just bought it
襟を短くして
and then
袖を
fixed it.
カットしたり
She lowered the color a little bit. She cut the sleeves in, made adjustments.
私スポーツメーカーでデザイナーしてましたけど、
So she used to actually be a designer for a sports company.
スポーツウェアは自分で作るものじゃないです。
And she says sports jerseys are not for humans to just make on their own.
ちょっとこのミシンでは辛い。
It's very difficult with something like this, like a household machine.
のニットこう伸びるニットのためのミシンっていうので普通は作るんですね。
So usually you would use a specific type of machine that's for stretchy jersey material.
だからその家で使うミシンだとね結構ここねファスナーとかここがねニャニャニャニャニャニャニャニャ
So if you try to use this and make a sports jersey, it makes a very like a loose line. It's not as clean.
She said she likes to be cheap and
Mhm.
not spend a whole bunch of money. Did she ever buy costumes from China?
節約が好きなレイカさんに質問なんですけど、中国から買いますかコスプレ？
買ったらね結構ねうわーひどいっていうのが来るんですよ。
来るの向こうから。
違う
She says She says a lot of times if she does buy it, when it arrives, it's not what she thought it would be.
布が安い。
Like the fabric is cheap. A lot of
いい
times.
布がちょっと好きなんで
But
す。
she really likes she spends money on the fabric itself.
布がもうダメだとね、ちょっと。
So if the fabric itself is bad, it's not good for her. Hmm. コスプレをする時のメイクはどれぐらいの時間かかるんですか？
まあ、顔を洗って、
So first she washes her face,
この状態になるまでに1時間ですね。
and to become this entire thing, it's about an hour. Yeah, from waking up in the morning to washing her face to being this.
メイクだけなら30分くらい。
Just her makeup, maybe 30 minutes. Yep. Is there any other questions? Oh, I see one. アーマーを作ることは結構ありますか？それともほとんどは布で。
まあ、そのね、なんていうかな、ダイナスティーウォーリアでしたっけ？あれとかをするときはもうやっぱり作らないとしょうがないのでね、作るんですけど、そんなに作りたいってタイプではない。
ですよね。So, Dynasty Warriors, Sengoku Musou, like something like that where you have to, like there's no choice to, she will, but not a lot of the cosplays that she wants to do in general don't really have armor to begin with. But something like Dynasty Warriors where everyone's wearing armor, you kind of have no choice.
頭のいいメガネキャラクターはあまりアーマーついてないです。
She says usually very smart, like glasses wearing characters don't wear armor.
はい。
Very good. Oh, one more question. 一番好きなアニメは何ですか？
サイコパスです。
Do you know Psychopaths?
大好き。
うなずいた。
あとラブライブ。
ラブライブ。ラブライブ。あ、拍手もらった。ラブライブ。うん。
あと何かちょっとだけありますか？
Like BL, like boys love, or just in general? いや、BL じゃなくても大丈夫です。好きなカップルはアニメのカップルとかありますか？
BL だったら、
If we're talking about boys love and BL,
まあ、同人誌買うくらい好きなのはどうかな、エルヴィンとリヴァイです。
she says like the couple that she loves even to buy fan-made art books of is from Shingeki no Kyojin from Attack on Titan, Erwin and Levi. Erwin 団長 and Levi 兵長。
それは同人誌をたくさん買いました。
So she bought a lot of fan-made art books of that. うん。でもカップルとして
女の子のカップルはね、
女の子。
歌のプリンス様の
うん。
はるちゃんとレン様。
Do you know 歌のプリンス様？
レン、はるちゃん。
That couple, I guess.
ヒロインと、まあ、レン様というキャラクター。
レン様。レン様。いやでもリヴァイ兵長とエルヴィン団長ですよ。
BL は。
BL は。
BL は。
BL。The oldest anime she's ever cosplayed. ああ、なんか古いアニメっていうのですか？昔のアニメで一番なんかやったのは誰ですか？昔のアニメの。はい。最近のんではなく。
昔のアニメ。昔ってどれくらい？
How far back? That's far back? Oh my god! It's like Sailor Moon. Like what's far back? さっきどれぐらい昔って言ったら97年って言ってそれ短いよ。80年代70 70年代80年代。
最初にコスプレしたのはあれ、ルローニケンシン。
Oh, the very first cosplay she did was Kenshin from Samurai X English? Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin. Okay, from Rurouni Kenshin. Kenshin. Ryoko? Ah, 天地無用の良子になんか超いい感じで出来上がりますって。No. Like the silver crazy. She's like, that wig? あえか。このくるくるあーいやーでも難しい。It's very difficult.
子供の頃見てましたよアニメを。
But she did watch it when she was little. 天地無用 That's still like, what is that, like 90s? We have about 4 minutes. Does anyone else have any questions? You do. 好きなコスプレイヤーとかいますか？
好きなコスプレイヤー、去年ここに来たゴルディさんとは仲がいいんですね。
She likes the Goldie from the person who came last year, Gundam, right? Last year he was here. Goldie.
なんかなんだろう。でもやっぱり彼の作るものはすごいなと思います。
So she thinks that the outfit, the cosplays that he makes are amazing.
なんか私やるのが好きなので、コスプレイヤーさんを見るのは趣味じゃないんですね。
She says she likes making cosplays, but she doesn't enjoy like necessarily looking at cosplays. She enjoys making them.
イベントでリアルに会った人たちが好きなことが多いですね。
So instead of liking someone's cosplays, she just likes the people behind the cosplays. Because she goes to these events and she meets them.
その中でこう、この人すごい、この人すごいっていつも思う。いろんな人をすごいと思う。
And then that field, she thinks like, oh, this person's amazing. This guy was amazing. And she thinks people in general are amazing.
でもやっぱり衣装を自分で作る人が好きですね。
But she does really, really like people who make their own cosplays.
よく友達に、レイカさんは首から下しかコスプレを見てないって言われます。
Her friends say that a lot of times she doesn't look at people's cosplays from the neck down. Only focuses on the person.
いつもなんかすっごい衣装綺麗な人がいたよっていうので。
Sometimes she focuses too much on the actual outfit instead of the person behind it. She's like, that outfit was amazing. That cosplay was awesome.
で、どんな顔の人だったのって顔はあんまり覚えてないんだ。
And she's like, what does that person look like? Like, I don't really remember.
衣装がすごいと、その衣装をすごく見ちゃうから、なんかここから上のインパクトを忘れちゃう。
But she says she's in awe of someone's cosplay, she just remembers that outfit, but not necessarily anything from the neck up. Yeah. 過去に行ったコンベンションの中で一番好きなコンベンションは？
それ難しいんだ。
That's a very hard question.
どこですか？
どこですか？私に聞かれた。
北海道のコンベンションはご飯が美味しかった。
She says the convention in Hokkaido had amazing food.
日本人って北海道すごく好きなんです。日本で一番北です。
Japanese people love Hokkaido. If you're not sure, Hokkaido is a very, very northern island in Japan.
シーフード。
So the seafood, the hot springs, ramen.
で、北海道のコンベンションにレイカさん来てくださいって言われた時に、マジで？
She says when she got an invitation from Hokkaido, like, please, Reika-san, you have to come to our convention. She's like, really?
もしかしたらそれが一番楽しかったかもしれない。
Maybe that was her favorite convention, actually. アメリカでの食事で一番好きなものとかはありますか？
マクドナルドです。でもマックポテトは本当ポテトでは一番美味しいですよ。マックポテト。
マジ？
マクドナルドのポテトはファーストフードの中で一番美味しい。
She thinks the French fries at McDonald's are the best. I know, that's my reaction. I was like, what? Have you had Five Guys? No, I'm kidding. 日本のマックですか？アメリカのマックのことですか？
日本のマックです。
Japanese McDonald's. Oops. 照り焼きバーガー好きなキャラクターがいて、そのキャラクターにはいろんな衣装があったら、どの衣装を選ぶですか？どうやって衣装を選ぶんですか？
大体一番派手なやつが好きですね。
Usually the one that stands out the most.
あとは一番その
Or
メインビジュアルで着ている衣装。
the one that they're most commonly appearing on screen with.
ですかね。あとは王子様みたいなのが大好き。
Or like Prince fashion. Prince. I think one last question and then that's it. But go for it. あれだ。恋愛の話なんですけど。Her take on it. ユーリとビクトル。恋愛の話なんですけど、ユーリオンアイスのアニメの中での恋愛のことをどう思ってますか？憧れ恋愛。
憧れとあれは憧れでしょう。
This is not love per se.
多分でも
That's like a, yeah, it's like a, you look up to that person, but maybe we're not really sure.
まだここからが楽しみです。
She's excited to see the next episodes. I mean, there is some very questionable content in that one.
はいということで、まあ、
Okay.
服が1個できました。
But we've made one outfit. Yay! すごい。
はい。
And then actually, サイン会は明日ですよね。She also has a autographing session in the morning tomorrow. 何時でしたっけ？ 10時。I think it's at 10. 10 o'clock? Yay. It's at 10 tomorrow morning. And then she's going to be judging the cosplay contest. No, she's going to be something. She's going to talk about. She's going to talk about competition cosplays. There you go. It's going to be on the bottom portion of that schedule. I think it's at what time? 4, 5? すいません. That one's at 2. I'm sorry, I'm completely off. It's from 2 to 3:30. She will do that too. But yes, definitely come say hi at 10 tomorrow morning. Thank you.